Cody Stepp here. I have had a lot of fun attending several different events over the last couple of months. And when we get to attend in person live events, one of the really cool things that we're able to do is use Sam, the Systems Accelerator Manager, to actually drive new business to us. And this is a process that kind of mimics what you guys are actually doing in your business. And so I wanted to showcase some of the tools that we have available to us inside the system and kind of peel back the curtain and actually show you what I have set up for our business, because we actually use SAM as well. And I think that you're going to really enjoy this. So this is kind of a deep dive into our actual platform and how we're using it. And I'm hoping that you can maybe take some notes and actually apply this into your own business. And you can create something really powerful for your people. But what we're going to be focusing on today is our business cards inside of SAM. So like I said, Mark and I go to lots of different events. And when I was younger, I purchased business cards. And I realized almost immediately that they were out of date, but I had to purchase a minimum order of something like 250. So quite a lot of business cards. And, maybe it was not that expensive, 20, 30 bucks, probably some shipping included, but they were immediately outdated. Maybe you've experienced this before. Maybe you don't like carrying business cards, or maybe you've been handed a business card and you didn't really do anything with it. Well, that is kind of the use case for why you might want to have a virtual business card, especially in the day and age of smartphones. And so I'm going to show you guys what you can do inside of SAM. And if you were curious, you could actually use this QR code and you could experience what it is like for you to actually go through this experience. And you can learn a little bit more about myself, a little bit more about Mark, a little bit more about our company, Workflow Secrets, and you can learn a little bit more about Sam. So that's really cool. But without further ado, I am going to just hop directly into my account. Now, if you would like to, you can visit sam.workflowsecrets.info and you could have 14 days of free access on me. You don't ask for a card on file. There's no obligations afterwards, but it does give you access to a really incredible tool. Or maybe you're one of our trialers currently, or one of my customers. And to you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are the best. But go ahead and visit sam.workflowsecrets.info, sign in, and I'll meet you at the dashboard. All right, so we are in the dashboard section, and I've got everything kind of collapsed right now so that I don't dox anything. But what I want to do from the dashboard is kind of showcase to you guys where our business card is. And then from there, we can talk about exactly how I built out a routine that allows me to manage the leads as they come in through my business card. So navigating to the top right-hand side, you can click on your initials. And from the drop-down, you will actually go into the setup section. Now, inside the setup section, there's lots of different things. We could talk about them at length, but one thing I'm going to point out, and then we're going to just jump right over to the business cards, is this menu options, because this is where you're able to customize pretty well everything in the system. So historically, at some of the other companies that I had worked in real estate technology, you would have to reach out to support anytime you needed an update or needed something specific added to your account. And usually that would require us submitting a report to the engineers, and then they spend weeks, if not months, trying to get it added. And oftentimes they're already backlogged. So that process isn't the best for customers. So Mark and I felt that it was very important inside of SAM that we make anything that you could be able to customize available to you. So that is one of those things, but we don't necessarily need to focus on that today. One of the things I would encourage is this manage date field, just kind of putting a note on this. This is how you make custom important dates. And one of the custom important dates that I actually made is a business card lead date. And you could do that by clicking add date and then creating custom date. And then from there, you could build out your own business card important date. And what that does for me is when folks use my business card, and we'll talk about this in just a second, I'll show you exactly what it is, but it can trigger an important date. And so having that available is really powerful. But that is the menus option. Like I said, we can dive deeper into that another time, but I do want to go to the business card dropdown. So the business card dropdown is our attempt at making your life much easier, bringing your business card, your business into modern day, I suppose. But from here, pretty simple as far as setup goes. You can update a photo, you can update a logo, and you can also select to have a banner image. Now, Mark uses a banner image. I use just a standard photo. So there are kind of a couple of different options. If you are curious what his business card looks like, put it right here. Okay. Now that we've kind of talked through all of that, you just need to fill in your information, first, last name. You can adjust how the layout actually looks, subtitles. You can adjust font sizes. So there's a lot of customization, just kind of finessing what you actually want it to look like. And then you can start to fill out all of the different information that you would want. So primary sources of information are going to be city, state, zip, phone number, email, website, right? I don't like giving out my phone number, so I do not have that one filled out on my live business card. But you're in real estate, you probably do need to have your phone number available to you. I personally believe that if you need my phone number, you're going to have my phone number. And if you don't have my phone number, well, either ask for it or you probably don't need it. But we give out our phone number to our customers, and they use it when needed. My friends, family have my phone number. But again, you're a real estate agent, so you probably want your phone number there. After that, you can add all of the different social media links. So I've got several here. I've got my LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We also have a Reddit. And then I've included some website links for both getting a view of Sam through our demo, as well as just taking them right to Sam. So how you would go about adding those is clicking that add social media link, and then it's going to pop up a new box. Now from here, there's lots of social media that you could select from. So we've tried to make it pretty vast as far as things that you can apply there. Though I will say, the more you add, the longer your business card is, a little bit overwhelming it can appear. So you do kind of want to balance, like, what are my most important links, and really be litigious, I guess would be a good word for that, about what you actually add. But from here, I'm just going to delete this because I don't need this second one. After that, you can adjust the actual look, feel, layout, colors. Do you want a solid background, a gradient background? What kind of icon colors do you have? Again, you probably have some sort of brand identity through your team or your brokerage, maybe even through your company. And so matching that is probably something that you can do stylistically. I have a background in graphic design, so that to me, it's just a nice little feature. But I have all of my colors matched to the colors we use with Sam, with this blue. And so that's kind of where that comes from. Now, from here, this is where the power of the business card comes in. I said earlier that it can actually be used to drive leads to you. And so here is a checkbox that says ask for contact information. What this does, and I'll show you in just a second once we go through all of this, is it allows them to not only add your information to their phone, but also to gather their information from you, and it drives it directly into Sam. So this becomes what we would call a lead magnet, which is really cool. And once we have that, you can select it to be automatically added, or you can have it set to be approved through your page approval. And typically when you have a business card come in, there's a notification that will appear saying that there is a new lead coming in. You need to either navigate to the page approvals to approve it, or you have it automatically approved. I'm not going to click the bell icon because this is my actual account, and so we're only showing surface level information here that is publicly available. After that, once they have submitted their information, you can select a specific URL that it would redirect to. So you can start to drive an initial experience, and this is one of those world-class client experiences that Mark and I like to teach about as part of our core strategies framework. But now that we have all of that, this is going to be where that date field comes into play. So like I said earlier, I have that business card lead date that I added under the menu options with the important dates. And this is going to trigger the routine to actually kick off. So we're able to immediately start some sort of engaging activity, opportunity, whatever from that. Now, at this point, all we need to do is save the settings, and then we can do a couple of things. One, you can download your QR code, which is really cool. This is a custom QR code. This is actually my live QR code. So if you like paused the video and snapped it, or even just held your camera over it, you would be able to visit the actual business card that I have, but you can download that. We use it on our marketing materials. There is a page that I share at events that has both mine and Mark's business card QR codes so that folks can easily grab it. And generally speaking, this has been really fruitful for us. But outside of that, you can also view your business card by clicking this button. And in doing so, it will bring you to your actual business card. So here's what my business card looks like. As you can see, we got all of the different pieces on there. We have our photo, we have the actual titles, names, and then all of the links. Now, as you can see, this is on my actual desktop, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it up on my phone, right? So now you can see it on my phone, and you can see how the layout with all of the links is a little bit long. So this is where I give that suggestion, hey, be cautious as to the number of links. But what you're able to see here on my phone is the add to contacts at the very bottom. So it's the same screen. I'm actually going to just jump back to my screen share. It is intuitively built because this is how SAM is built. It's called responsive. And what that means is SAM can adapt to a desktop, it can adapt to a tablet, it can adapt to a mobile phone. And all of the different layouts will adjust the scale of it appropriately automatically for you. So this is one of those ways that we were able to get around having to be listed in the App Store, which comes with a lot of politics and pricing models. You can get delisted for no reason. And so we felt that it was easier to give you guys a mobile experience that is just through your browser. And there's a lot of ways in which you can create shortcuts that basically turn it into an app. But when you click this add to contact, it is going to pop out a form. And so then you just share first name, last name, email, and phone number. Now, when you hit the send button, it sends it to Sam. It gets added to that page approvals page. And because I have a routine for my business card using this date field, this important date, as soon as it comes in, it fills that out, it triggers the automation. And even if you are asleep, even if you're working with another client, if you are in your car and you are not on your phone, it doesn't matter. The leads are going to be managed. And on top of that, even if you post this up at an open house and one person at a time grabs it, or you are at an event and you're presenting to an audience of several hundred and all of them snap your URL or and even if all of them snap your QR code at the exact same time, it doesn't matter. Sam is going to be able to manage that. So that's the power of using Sam, is that you can manage one lead at a time. You can manage hundreds of leads at a time. They're all going to receive that same quality experience. So this is the basics of your business card. This is what it looks like and actually how you're able to engage with that. But what I would love to do is actually dive into the routine that makes it possible. So over here on my left-hand side, we have our routines tab, and I've clicked into it. And this is the routine that I have built out for my business card. I also have one built out for Mark's business card. Now, each of these are a little bit different depending on whose business card it is, because I want to give you a tailored experience based on whose business card you've actually asked for. And so you're going to get a little bit of different content. But it's worth noting, when I build these, all I had to do was click new routine, build routine. I named it. I selected that business card lead date, and then I actually let Sam build it. And so I just had to explain, create a 5-day nurture for a lead off my business card, something like that. I can let Sam enhance that. And then when I hit generate, Sam gets to work building not only all of the different steps for my business card, but I can actually approve and it'll build it in literally just a couple of minutes. Now, at that point, you go through and you actually read through everything and you make sure that all of the messages are correct. But that's the power of being able to build all your automations using Sam. And on top of being able to build single routines, which are modern workflow automations, you can build entire processes, routine workflows that might consist of dozens, if not hundreds of routines with lots of important dates. That takes about 20 minutes, whereas building a single routine can be done in literally 2 to 3 minutes. But that is how you could build it using Sam. But let's actually look at what I've built so you can get an idea of what this might entail. So as you can see, I have it triggering on the business card lead date. I do have it set to active and to run automatically. Now, what that means is anytime those leads come in, it is going to automatically trigger on them. I don't need to go in and manually start it. And that's truly what automation should be. And what they should always be doing is they should be starting automatically. You shouldn't have to go in and start a workflow. This is why routines are modern reimagining. We kind of sat down and looked at 20 years worth of routines and workflow automations and what we didn't enjoy or didn't like about them, where they kind of fell short. And, we used just thousands and thousands of case studies of agents that we've helped build workflows for. And that is how we built the routines. But inside of this, I have 5 messages, 5 activities that all are inside of those messages, and they are going to start on the business card lead date. So what this means is 0 days after that important date is filled out, exactly when it happens during the activity time, boom, it triggers and it's going to send this message. Now, this message was written by Sam and it was adapted by me, but you can see that it starts to explain a little bit about who I am. It thanks them for connecting. My intention with this is to introduce myself formally. Now, oftentimes at events, you don't have the opportunity to sit there and actually explain, oh gosh, here's who I am, here's what my product is. You have like a little 30-second pitch. So using a business card like this gives them the opportunity to understand just a little bit more about who you are. Again, working to build that world-class client experience. Now, it is set to send a message. Technically speaking, you could send conditional messages depending on where they were coming from, whether it was from an open house or from an event or from a webinar. There's lots of ways in which you could do that, but those messages could be adapted depending on that. You could add things to a call list, run webhooks to reach out and do actions or perform tasks for you with other software. You could update fields, meaning any of those dates or any of those statuses inside the contact could be updated by this routine. We use Slack, which is a messaging service. It's kind of like Facebook Messenger, or I believe there's a Microsoft product that allows you Teams, Microsoft Teams, but Slack is an option. You could send notifications that you have new leads to Slack. You could send a notification to that bell inside of Sam. You could even stop a routine or send to handwritten, which would allow you to send off a message to be handwritten. So there's lots of action types. This action just happens to be a message. And then one of the other things that you can do, it's worth noting just inside of routines, just as a general note, if you're not familiar with routines yet, maybe this is the first routine you want to build, you can actually set up a preferred message type. Now, what this means is if you are asking someone what their preferred messages are, maybe they only ever respond to email, maybe they only ever respond when you text them or when you call them, those are going to be their preferred method of communication. And as you learn this, you can adjust it, and Sam can actually adapt messages on the fly. So even though this is written as an email, Sam could create it as an SMS, and as it gets sent out, if it's already pre-built, it'll send as an SMS because it was set as the preference over just an email. I can also adapt it to be just an email or just an SMS. But and a little caveat, if you don't yet have an SMS for this, as in this case, Sam will ask if I'd like it to build one. And now that I clicked yes, it will build it. It's truncating it into an actual SMS format that feels a little bit more native to an actual mobile experience. That way you're not getting emails in SMS format. Those are always a little frustrating. But now that it has an SMS, it could send it on my behalf. But before I clicked OK and had Sam build it, I would need to approve this before it's sent out. So there's like a little caveat for you. But now that we kind of understand this message, let's go ahead and let's look at some of the other messages. So I've explained who I am, and now I'm in message 2 explaining a little bit about our software. Okay, well, you've met me, and so now we should probably talk about what I do for business, and that is at Workflow Secrets, Sam, right? The Systems Accelerator Manager. It replaces real estate CRMs, and currently we are doing that for agents and teams across North America. It's been a lot of fun, and we are working to just using information. And so that's the power of Sam. That's kind of what I get into in this message. And at every point for these first 2 messages, my call to action, which is what would I like them to do at the end of this, is to watch the Sam demo. It's a little 3-minute demo that I've prepared. And so they can click on that button. At this point, I'm just trying to engage them, trying to teach them a little bit and warm them up, get them familiar with who I am, working to gain a little bit of rapport and trust before I actually move forward with them. But at this point, we have one more message that's going to dive into what we do. And this is our promise, the technology that gives you time back. So I've explained who I am. I've explained a little bit about the product. Those are probably the 2 most pressing questions, but I want to give one more message to them explaining a little bit about what we do, who we are, right? So I'm validating myself, my product, and my company, and what we believe in, what we stand upon, so that you have a good understanding of who we are. Generally speaking, those are kind of the 3 things that I feel are important to explain before I even remotely decide to offer up or to pitch you working with us. And so that's what this message does. This one actually offers up the first one-on-one interaction, and that's booking a one-on-one walkthrough with us. So we love to actually get real estate agents and teams into 30-minute meetings where we can sit there and we can learn a little bit about you face-to-face virtually, and actually tailor a demo, not just a 3-minute general catch-all, but maybe a more focused demo to what your business would actually need. It's a lot of fun, and it's one of those efforts that engages with how our community responds, and it also backs up what we believe, and that technology should open up your calendar. It should free your time so that you can do things that matter most, and that you can invest the time that you freed up into more personalized interactions. And so because Sam is handling all of my lead flow, I don't have to worry about this. I didn't have to collect all of these emails and then go back and one fire off all these messages at the end of the event. Sam's already done this for me. And so now I should have more time in my week that I can actually have these more personal interactions. So that's what it is. And then technically speaking, from a marketing standpoint, because that's where my background is, you shouldn't have 2 calls to action. I do have 2 calls to action. I'm reinforcing the 3-minute demo. It's kind of if not A, then B. And you notice my primary call to action is a button, which mimics the other 2, whereas watch the Sam demo is now just a hyperlink. But that is the third message in there. And then once we have that, I start to really aggressively, not aggressively, but I start to actually try and sway the recipient of these into taking action, taking a look at what Sam is and what it could do for them. Obviously, they've connected with me. They've now learned about myself, our software, and our business. Next step is for them to actually take some action, get into the software, and try Sam for themselves. And I do that by explaining a little bit about one of our customers who had a great experience and shared a testimonial. And in doing so, she kind of made a case for why you should use Sam, and how she shifted from other products to Sam, why she shifted, and what Sam has been for her. So I like my customers to be able to share openly and honestly, and oftentimes they're our biggest advocates. And it's definitely a testament to the community that we've built. But in doing that, it provides what we would call in marketing social proof. And so this would be a really good opportunity for you. You may have adapted my first 3 messages, the first one being explaining about yourself. Who are you as an agent, as a friend, as a family member? What do you enjoy doing? Likes, interests, hobbies? Why are you going to be a really valuable team member for that person in email 2? And maybe a little bit about your philosophies and how you actually move the needle for them in real estate. So those are all really great things. And then the 4th email, maybe you have a really great client testimonial that you can share to really bring home the fact that, hey, working with me is not only something that other folks have done, but it's something that is going to be of value to you. And don't take my words for it. Listen to my customers. So right there, I have, again, your ability to watch Laura's testimonial. That is my primary call to action. But then I do circle back and I create a secondary call to action for them to actually book that one-on-one with us, again, making it handy. And then the third one that I have, because 2 call to actions isn't enough, is driving them to a 2-hour event that we hosted that was part of one of our efforts. It gives them a really good in-depth look at what Sam is. So at this point, I have driven them from understanding who I am, understanding a bit about our product, about our company, and then using some social proof. These are all processes that you could do. And then my very last message to them is to really drive home what it would look like for them to actually use Sam. And so I basically say, like, hey, you've heard my story. Now you're a part of my community. I've invited them to join me in this effort to shift real estate technology. And this call to arms is designed to get them to actually take some action. And because of that, I'm driving home that book a one-on-one meeting again, asking them to reconnect. Maybe we get to spend a little bit more focused time. We can actually look at the software, and then I articulate, here's why Sam is going to be different than your other tools. And hopefully I have swayed them at this point through my business card to actually engage with me. But the power in creating an experience like this inside your business using just your business card is so powerful. And what's really fun about this, and I would imagine that this video is going to drive folks to us as well. But what's really fun about this is that we are constantly getting folks who come in through our business cards. And so then they get to learn a little bit more about myself and why I've been in real estate technology for the greater part of the last decade, how I ended up being a second generation real estate technologist. They learn about my background, my history, about SAM and why we built SAM the way we did, workflow secrets, and ultimately the inevitable goal of all of this is to create that world-class experience. Imagine how many folks are sending out experiences like this off a business card, right? And it all started with them scanning a QR code and then them migrating to the actual page. They got my information, they added it to their cell phone, or they looked me up on social media, and then they clicked add my contact and actually shared their information with us. And so this is one of those efforts that is going to pay dividends, and you can use this at open houses, you can use this on your website, you can use this in your marketing materials, or if you decided to buy a billboard and you wanted to throw it in the corner. There's lots of use cases for this, but this is the kind of experience that's truly going to set you apart from all of your competition. And this is one of those quick and easy hits, but all of the technology is available to you just simply for using SAM. Now, here's where I'm going to offer up a little bit of time in SAM. If you have not yet taken 14 days to actually get into the software and look at it, I would love to give you 14 days of free access. Like I said in the beginning, it's no obligation. We're not going to ask for a credit card. But ultimately, what I would love for you to do is get to experience the AI native platform that is shifting real estate technology, and it's redefining how we use technology inside our real estate business. Now, there's lots of bells and whistles, and during those 14 days, you're going to receive a series of emails that go over some of the most important parts for you to understand and actually start using. And if you accomplish all of these tasks, you actually get a reward for it, and that's really cool. It's about an $800 value. And all of this starts by going to sam.workflowsecrets.info and signing up for 14 days of free access. But if you're one of my customers, or you currently are in a trial, thank you so much for taking a look. Hopefully, no matter how you found this video, no matter why you're watching this video, this was not only informative, but this gives you some ideas as to what you can actually do in your business using routines, as well as the business card piece inside of SAM to create another experience that is just going to help you stand out. And other than that, I will see you very soon.